Hey guys, Tim Ferriss here. I'm going to show you just a few exercises that I found very helpful for hip and ankle mobility or flexibility, because these have been two weak points of mine for a very long time. I've had a lot of injuries, both in the hips and in the ankles. My dorsiflexion on the left is terrible compared to the right, so I'll show you what I mean. If I have, check this out, my toes on the same line, okay, and I push my knees forward, you can see that my right knee is probably a good 3 to 4 inches ahead of my left. And the left feels bone on bone a lot of the time, but I'll show you 3 things that have helped with that end, with improving what you might call grumpy baby. I've never been able to do happy baby in yoga, which is effectively what I just showed you. So working on that has been extremely important for a number of sports I'm working on, and acrobatics and acro yoga. So what to do? These were both things that resisted many different attempts previously. So the first thing I'm going to show you is from Coach Sommer of Gymnastic Bodies, former national team coach for men's gymnastics. And that is effectively, and there are many different ways to go about this, but the first, let's just say you did 60 calf raises, okay? And counted it off, and then went down into a position like this, and I'll give you a diagonal, okay? And I'm not going to be doing this perfectly. You notice this is kind of out to the side to take out the hip flexor, and then I'm just stretching the Achilles and calf here, all right? And then I would hold this from 60 to 120 seconds. You should all check out his programming because it's much more sophisticated, and this is from him. But that is exercise 1. You would do it on both sides. Next, I'm going to give the ankles a bit of a break and work on the grumpy baby to happy baby transition. And this is very simple. I'm going to be in this type of staggered position, okay? My hips are square, so I'm not rotating like this or rotating this way. I'm not in a warrior pose of any type. My toes are pointing straight ahead. And this is very similar to what you might have seen from, say, Verstegen or Eric Cressy does a lot of great work with this type of thing. I'm just going to drop the elbow and then keeping this leg in, up, pull with my back to get a lot of rotation, and just do this perhaps 6 times, going to max depth for a very short half second or second. You notice that if one is reasonably easy to do, I'm going to inch that foot forward, and then you would repeat on the opposite side. Same story, all right? And down, and then up. Just like that. Not spending a lot of time in these positions. That's how you end up really, really sore oftentimes. If you are spending a lot of time in those positions, again, refer to Coach Sommer on this, you're not going to be doing intensive long holds all the time. You might be doing it once a week, twice a week. That's it. All right, so the next move, that'd be 1, 2. We covered the Achilles stretch after engorging the area with blood. We talked about the sort of grumpy baby to happy baby. And this one is a Cossack squat. So nothing has helped my ankle dorsiflexion pulling the foot back, right? That range of motion, as much as Cossack squats. And these were really introduced to me by Pavel Tsatsouline, who is very well known for popularizing kettlebells in the US, among other things. And you can do this without weights, and you should first. The key element, or one of the key elements for the goals that we have that I discussed, is you want to keep your hips as low as possible as you move from one side to the other. Now you can do them with your foot like so, which is going to use the adductors more, or you can flip this one out and get more hamstring. I tend to do it this way, and then from here you would just glide across. I have a lot of trouble keeping my hips low to here. Now you can already see that this ankle is more restricted. I find because of that restriction, it's counterintuitively perhaps easier when you have some weight to load with, and that is true with pistols oftentimes, one-legged squats. Okay, so if I'm here and get this up, just kind of a goblet hold, okay, like so, I tend to put it right under the chin, and then just coming across like this, and I'll spend a little bit of time just working on each side, a few seconds, do that 6 times or so, drop the kettlebell, come on up, relax, and that's about it. The consistency is more important than the intensity or the volume. And for more on that, For more on stretching, I highly recommend Coach Sommer, S-O-M-M-E-R, Pavel Tsatsouline, Relax and to Stretch. But as far as starter kits go, there are 3 that I found very, very helpful. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see my favorite piece of content that I put out every week, it is a short newsletter, 5 Bullet Friday. It's free. It's 5 bullet points with the coolest things that I have been finding, using, testing in a given week. I put it out every Friday. You can digest it in about 5 minutes. Take a look. 5 Bullet Friday.